The present cosmological model of physical reality is called the lambda cold dark matter Big Bang model of the universe. In a nutshell, the scenario of the universe according to this model is that at some point in the distant future, many trillions of years from now, at an event called the Big Rip, the physical observable universe as we know it will cease to exist. If the cold dark matter Big Bang model of the universe is correct, and by all accounts that seems to be the way things actually are, it means that it is an unavoidable fact that the existence of all life, and by implication the existence of consciousness as well, is ultimately a transient, unique, one-off occurrence which does not survive the end of the physical universe. If life and consciousness does not survive the death of the universe, it therefore also means that when you die, there will be no part of your existence which survives the death of your physical body. Now, I wouldn't blame you if your immediate response to this information is, what the fuck has it got to do with me? It's not going to happen for trillions and trillions of years, and I'm not going to be around when it happens. Well, here's what it's got to do with you personally, right now. Now, forget Elon Musk colonising Mars, with the reason being that at some point in the distant future, that eventually the sun will expand and engulf the Earth. The end of the observable universe, and of all life and consciousness within it, represents the ultimate end of everything, restaurants included, I'm afraid. And the vacuum of nothingness trumps the end of planet Earth all day long. No matter how many planets humanity colonises in the future, it is our ultimate destiny and fate that eventually it would all be for nothing. Basically, all life in the universe is fucked, and nothing we can ever do can alter that fact. And although you may think this situation is depressing, it gets even worse, especially if you're relying on God to save you from oblivion. And here's why. A significant consequence of the fact that the physical observable universe is finite in time and space is that the finiteness of itself, and the fact that all matter ceases to exist after the Big Rip, necessarily precludes the existence of any physical God, an entity which by its very nature is defined as being eternal and infinite. It also precludes the physical existence of heaven and hell as being impossible to exist within a finite universe in which the existence of all atoms of matter also have a finite transient existence. We can agree that at very least God, if it exists at all, is capable of forming a linear connected flow of thoughts. It designed the universe, for fuck's sake. Basically, we can agree that it can think and is conscious of its own existence. However, in order to form a narrative flow of thoughts, it is a necessary prerequisite requirement that such a linear process can only occur in a universe where time flows consistently in one direction and where cause always precedes effect over time. So how would a disembodied consciousness be able to perform a linear process in the timeless, dimensionless vacuum state of the universe after the Big Rip? Now, after all that doom and gloom, here is the good news. There is a way which offers hope, and if ever humanity needed some good news, we've never needed it more than now. The only possible way that the existence of life and consciousness can be eternal, and for our own existence in this universe to have any possible meaning, is if the concept of the eternal reincarnation of the individual soul is a real process, and that the phenomena is a fundamental condition of every individual soul's physical existence in the universe. Only if the perpetual reincarnation of the individual soul is true can it ever be possible that an eternal domain can exist within the confines of the finite physical universe. And I have already described the fundamental laws which govern the process of reincarnation in previous videos. So a brief recap of those laws is that it is an intrinsic condition of the existence of any given individual soul is that it is subject to a perpetual chain of births and subsequent deaths and rebirths, with no opt-out clause to this condition. Unlike God, the process of perpetual reincarnation doesn't care whether you believe in it or not. Each separate physical existence experienced by an individual soul always represents the beginning, or the first link, if you like, of the eternal future chain of physical existences which that particular soul will experience after its present physical existence. The reincarnation model of physical reality postulates that the number of separate, unique, individual physical existences which it is possible for an individual soul to experience within the finite timeline of the observable universe is infinite. The fact that a soul experiences an infinity of separate physical existences defines an individual soul as being essentially immortal in nature. The process of the reincarnation of the one individual soul popping in and out of existence within the multiverse can be compared to John Wheeler's one electron universe hypothesis, where every electron in the universe is regarded as the one same electron zipping backwards and forwards in time within the four-dimensional space-time of the cosmos. The physical observable universe is finite, but from the perspective of the existence of an individual soul, the universe is infinite and eternal. Another fundamental law of the process of reincarnation is that the world and the kind of society into which a soul is reborn into on every occasion is wholly and entirely determined by the moral state of that soul at the moment of death in the previous existence. The mathematical infinity of permutations of possible conscious physical existences, and beginning with any individual first link in the eternal chain, also defines the reincarnation model of the universe as being a many worlds multiverse version of physical reality. The uniqueness of each individual physical reality is infinite in number, in the same way that no two snowflakes are identical. This principle of the process of perpetual reincarnation, analogous to Wheeler's electron, solves the enigma of how something which is essentially defined as being infinite in nature, and in this case we're talking about the immortal soul, can exist and be perpetually present within a physical universe which is essentially finite in time and space. Within the infinite many worlds multiverse, which represents the domain of the immortal soul, it is a statistical certainty that every possible form of society which it is possible for a soul to experience in a physical existence exists somewhere in the universe in actuality.